Hi, peace and light, everyone. This is Ten Nebula. And in this video, I'm doing my series talking to you about light workers and dark workers and the differences between them. And in this video, I'm talking to you about self-hatred. So with all people, we have core issues. All of us. We all have core issues that we're working on. Shadows, egos, fears. They could have been a part of our childhood, our young adulthood. They could have been things we carried over from past lives. But we all have them, and they come in different forms, different kinds of shadows, and self-hatred can be a part of it. And regarding like being a light being or being a light worker and self-hatred, we can have that. We can have that in our childhood. We can have had some kind of trauma in our young life that we've carried over into our adulthood. But the difference is that we know that we want self-love. We know we want to be more caring to ourselves. And one of the great things that Abraham Hicks always talks about is contrast. And that's one of the great things about being on this planet, contrast. Being able to see other people in different realities and know that just because it's what it is right now for you doesn't mean it has to stay that way. There are other people living in different paradigms. You know, there are people who are rich. There are people who are poor. There are people who live very well. There's people who live very poorly. There's people who have great wealth and you know, very great beauty, or people who are very intelligent, and people who are very funny, and you know, there's these different kinds of paradigms. You know, we have so many different kinds of ways that we can live our lives. There are people who are very mindful, people who are very wise. There are people who live out of great ignorance. But the thing is, when we're in contrast, we get to see that that's not the way it is for everyone, and that's a very beautiful thing. To know that that's not the way it has to be. It does not have to stay that way. And as a light being and dealing with self-hatred, we want to be self-loving. You know, our intuition, our heart's telling us that we want to, probably, you know, early on our path. And we're like, you know, I want that for myself. I want to be self-loving. That person, they take really good care of themselves. They bring themselves to, you know, gifts, and you know, they attracted a really amazing partner, and you know, they do all these amazing things for themselves, and I want that too. And that's okay. It's okay to see something and say, you know what, I would like that for myself. It's okay to, you know, like Abraham Hicks said again, like they talk about life is a buffet and you get to choose what you want. It's okay to see someone's life and see something in it that you like and say, you know what, I would love to manifest something like that for myself. It's okay. We have a right to do that, you know, and as light beings, we know that. We can feel that. We see it. And we get encouraged. We're like, you know, I really want to do that for myself. I want to be self-loving. I want to do those things for myself. And you decide, you know, I'm willing to try. I'm going to show up. I'm willing to do the work. I'm going to go to my yoga classes. I'm going to do my meditation. I'm going to eat really well. I'm going to be in a spiritual community. I'm going to go to that center on Sundays. I'm going to do the work. And it requires work. There's effort. There's effort required in being a light worker and being a light being and living a life full of love and passion and health. It takes work. You have to show up. And as a light being, you're willing to do that. You learn your tools. You learn about all these different ways you can take care of your reality and transform it and heal it and change. And you're willing to do it. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it makes a difference. You get from life what you put into it. And that's what, as a light being, a light worker who's actually actively doing the work, you realize. And in its opposite with dark beings and dark workers and people who are living out of their ego, they want the same thing. They want to be self-loving. They want to be surrounded by people who love them. They want to be more caring towards themselves, but their fear stops them. Their fear stops them. Their trauma, their pain stops them. The world stops them. Their ego stops them. They stop. They don't try. And in the fear, you don't feel like you're worthy. You see these beautiful things in the world, but you don't feel like you're worthy of them. And so you tell yourself you're going to feel anyway, you'll never be able to get there, and you don't try. And again, you see the people who are doing it, and you maybe become jealous of them. You want it for yourself. Maybe you are inspired by them, but that's all it stays at. You're just inspired and you're rooting for them possibly, but you don't feel like you can actually get there. You can't actually attain it for yourself. So there's a fear of trying. And then a lot of times what happens with people who are living in the shadow of the ego, dark workers, dark beings, is that they become destructive, you know? Because you're not showing up, you're not doing that work, you become destructive. That negative self-talk telling yourself all these negative things. You start doing negative things to yourself with the drugs, the alcohol, being promiscuous, sleeping with people who you don't respect, who don't respect you. Staying up late, not wanting to take care of yourself, not wanting to eat well, and this destructive behavior that doesn't serve you long term. And it comes in different forms. And you do that, you lash out at other people, you're angry with them, you want to humiliate other people, you want to talk down to them, you want to tear them down, you want to take their power away, you want to do all these things because of the fact that you don't believe in yourself. Because you don't like yourself, because you hate yourself, because you hate the kind of person you are, because you're not aware of the truth, the universal truth that everything is love, that we're all worthy, deserving of our good, and we can all heal and clear, and we can all get better, we can all transform, but you have to show up, you have to do the work. And in truth and light and in the universal law, there is no excuses. The universe will give us a painful life if that's what we believe. And we see it every day. There's no victimhood on the planet. So that's one of the big differences between light beings and love beings, and dark workers and dark beings. Self-hatred. And moving out of that self-hatred to allow ourselves to be more loving to ourselves and others. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video today. Feel free to check out all my other amazing works. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and you guys all stay blessed. Bye.